No animals have been harmed in this production. Tim looked pretty scratched up when he came back. Composing Adventure, conversations with composers about great adventure scores, is a collection of interviews with the talented artists behind the scores of some of cinema and television's most celebrated adventure films and series. And we welcome author and filmmaker Aaron Lamb to Morning Live. Good morning, good to see you.
Good morning, Bob. How are you today?
Good. Let's do a shout out to a mutual friend, Colin Chilvers, of course, special effects guru. He worked on the Superman film. That was the first movie you went to?
It was the first movie I went to when I was 5 years old, and I was so lucky to become his friend and co-write his biography, Believing a Man Can Fly.
Yeah.
And in a way, that kind of led to this book, Composing Adventure, because Colin had directed the long version of Michael Jackson's music video for Smooth Criminal. And an amazing composer named Bruce Broughton wrote the score to that. And I sent him a copy of the book. And then I eventually asked him if he would be willing to be interviewed for this new book, Composing Adventure. And that's how the ball got rolling.
Okay, so now John Williams did the Superman score. You've got some big names like Bill Conti that we'll talk about, but a lot of the other subjects in the book, not household names, mind you, we recognize the scores that they're responsible for. What attracted you to the subjects in the book, and was there a common thread or criteria?
Yes, anybody who knows me knows I'm completely obsessed with movie music. I have literally hundreds of orchestral soundtracks. And really, this book was an excuse for me to interview some of my childhood heroes.
Okay.
You'll notice in the book there are interviews with a lot of Oscar and Emmy winners. But we also talked to composers about lesser-known films that people might not know about. And I figured this would be a great way for people to learn and discover some great adventure scores that they may not be familiar with.
Right. And, you know, we started off with Rocky off the top. Let's get back to Bill Conti because the process is fascinating. And when he was doing the score for Rocky, the film wasn't done yet. He couldn't look at it. Tell the story that he told you about writing the music and what he was looking at as he was writing or composing.
That's right. When he started sort of coming up with the ideas for the film, the entire film wasn't completely edited together yet. The director, John G. Avildsen, had actually just written the title Rocky on a piece of paper and put it across the screen. And when they originally were talking about the film, he wanted to have this great, big, epic opening. And the producers thought, what, is the king coming? You can't. with music like that, it's about a down on his luck boxer. You're promising too much. And they argue back and forth. And so originally they weren't going to have a big Rocky theme at the beginning. And thank goodness for all of us film fans, the producers eventually relented and Bill Conti was allowed to write this spectacular opening for Rocky.
Yeah, and the rest is movie history. With the seconds we have left, I want to mention John Scott, too. He's an interesting guy. He did Greystoke, The Legend of Tarzan, great soundtrack, but he was also the sax guy. He was a performer on the Pink Panther and Goldfinger.
Yes, he worked on so many legendary scores, and then he had a problem with his jaw and had an operation on his jaw and could no longer play the saxophone.
And we can no longer chat. They're telling me we're out of time, darn it. But we'll link up the socials so people can pick up a copy of Composing Adventure. Thanks so much, Aaron Lamb.
Thank you.